Ready for a no meat, no egg, no dairy, fast, low cost, little energy to make, great tasting meal? Then let's make one. Hello, gonna make my dinner. So this is a single serving, so just keep that in mind. So everything I've done here is a single serving. Might be a little bit more, but it's roughly a single serving. So what I'm making is not a traditional goulash. Now goulash is a stew, so I'm making a vegan stew and goulash. So I'm calling it Stewlash, vegan Stewlash. So anyway, that's what I'm going with, Stewlash. So what I've got is I don't like elbow macaroni because they're just too tiny and they get all kind of just lost in the whole stew thing. So I don't really like that much. So I'm using penne. I love penne. I've done lots of very similar things to this, very close. This one I'm adding something in that I haven't before just to try it, which is some oyster mushrooms. So it starts out really, I make the pasta in the microwave. It's 1 cup of penne, so just flattened out in the bottom of your regular measuring thing, 1 cup, 2 cups of water. And I put the water in first for 6 minutes. Now I have a 1100 watt microwave. So in 6 minutes, it's almost up to boil. It's hot enough to put the penne in. So I put the penne in, I put this lid back on it. It's right here, it's finished. And I put it another 6 minutes. That will get to boil. And for the last 2 minutes, it is boiling up in there, and that's it. So I take it out, and I let it sit for 30 minutes, and it is perfectly cooked, ready to go, just al dente. It is really a super way to make that amount, a single amount of pasta. So I'm gonna set this aside, and you'll see a picture of that up, and so that's what that looks like. So I've got over here my veggie burger, 1 patty, and this I made into, and you'll see it up there. I made into some little, I defrosted it because they're frozen, and then I chopped them up into these little squares. I have a little olive oil in this pan, and I'm gonna toaster oven this for 10 minutes just to brown it up, and it gets really good when you do that. It gets tight. It's like the best veggie burger I've ever eaten. It's just really good. I've tried a lot of them. I mean, a lot of them. And this is just my favorite. Price-wise, flavor, very low in sodium and fats and everything else. It's really a good one. I mean, I kind of overdosed on them for a while, so started eating some other things, but I always seem to go back to them anyway. They're just great. So I'm using it for this because it's got a lot of seasoning in it already, so I don't have to do a lot. I am gonna do a little bit of black pepper and salt, not much, tiny bit, because there's a lot of stuff here that has no seasoning whatsoever. And a little bit of garlic powder. And that's just to spruce up everything. So let me start over here. So I've got the oyster mushrooms, which I'm gonna chop up a little bit into small pieces. They'll go in. I've got some green onion. I've got a little bit of cilantro. And I've got about 8-9 cloves of roasted garlic. They're all minced up, so there's still good size chunks. I like that, so I can bite into them and taste them. And then the garlic powder will bring up the whole flavor in the whole thing. I've got some fresh basil off my plant outside. Just took it off just now. And I've got a fairly good size, you can see the size of that. It's a nice tomato. It'll be a little bit smaller, obviously, when I take out all the insides and stuff that I don't like to eat and the seeds and everything. So, and then over here I've got peas and some chopped broccoli and spinach. That's going to be the veggie side along with the tomato in the whole stew. It's going to be really good. So I'm going to putting all this stuff together, and then I'm going to put it back in the microwave and run it. So I'll come back as I've just getting ready to put it in the microwave to show you what that looks like. And that's it. So I'll get this ready and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back for a minute here. I've got this is all the veggies are going in. I've chopped up my beautiful oyster mushrooms are in there. The tomatoes all finely chopped. It's all going to go in the stew. I'm leaving the remaining water from the 2 cups in the pasta. The pasta is just beautiful. It's just perfect. Just right, al dente. Comes out so good when you do this method. I'm gonna pile all this in here. I'm saving the basil. That's gonna go on top. I don't like putting that in. I just like that fresh basil just sprinkled on top. Just really great. But this is all gonna go in there. And then I'm gonna pull out right now the veggie burger because it's browning in the toaster oven. So you can see what that looks like real quick. Ah, look how beautiful. Still sizzling. Okay, that's gonna go in after as well, along with the basil. I'll stir that in. There's no point putting it in there now and cooking all this together in the microwave. So I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna put it in the microwave for 6 minutes and let the whole thing stew into a stew, because that's really what it is. And then I'll come back and I'll put the veggie burger in and stir it all in, and then you'll see what that looks like in just a minute. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. And the Stewlash is out and it smells amazing. So I'm gonna put the veggie burger in here now, as long as it doesn't stick too badly. This just, it turns really nice and just gives the right texture and flavor once you've done this to it, which is just do the microwave thing with a little bit of oil in the bottom of the pan. It just kind of just gets to great texture. I'm just going to stir all this together. Oh, look at that. Can you see? Oh, that's hot. There'll be a picture up there anyway, so I'm not going to do that right now. I'll shoot it before I eat it, and you'll see the picture on your when I'm doing this. It's just beautiful. It's got a nice broth. It's just, this is a beautiful Stewlash, I'll tell you. Okay, so let's put some basil on top, which really will be just fantastic. Now, let's do it this way, because these things want to stay grouped together, which we don't want. Okay, so let's sprinkle these in here. Oh, wow. You just can't just wish there was smell a video would be great. You could smell this. Man, the basil coming up, everything. I can't wait to dig into this. I'm FOODMAKER V. And remember, the best investment you can ever make is an investment in your health. I'll see you next time.